For an extended period, rye was deemed as a plant that was neglected in terms of domestication efforts. It was believed to have spontaneously thrived among the fields of Neolithic farmers as a mere weed. It was not until the transition from the Bronze to Iron Ages that the cultivation of rye as a distinct crop began, although it didn't gain significant popularity until the Middle Ages. However, thanks to the archaeologists, we now have evidence to refute this belief. Rye is a type of cereal crop that has a close ancestral connection to wheat and barley. In the wild, there exist 14 other closely related crops. The grass species Caecal strictum, which typically grows on dry and stony mountain slopes in the Mediterranean, is believed to be the likely ancestor of modern rye. The grains produced by this grass are suitable as both animal and human food. An archaeological study conducted between 1980 and 2000 at Abu Huraira, situated in the upper Euphrates region currently flooded with the Lake Assad in northern Syria, unearthed the remains of a thriving Neolithic settlement that flourished over 12,000 years ago, even in the face of drought conditions. The settlement's success can be attributed to the early cultivation of cereals and sheep. It was during this excavation that the earliest evidence of rye domestication was discovered. Initially, rye cultivation played a minor role when compared to other grains. Over time, it is believed that early agricultural practices led to rye's expansion from the upper Euphrates River to Asia Minor and eventually, after 2,000 years, to Europe, carried by the first settler farmers. Cultivating rye presents certain drawbacks as a plant. It is not particularly remarkable in terms of its yield when compared to wheat. Additionally, it is prone to being damaged by a multitude of pests, ranging from fungal fusarium to field mice. The taste of rye grains is notably inferior to that of wheat. Notably, the renowned Roman writer and scientist, Pliny the Elder, regarded rye as bitter and inedible, only suitable for warding off hunger. So what enticed ancient farmers to cultivate rye? Rye is an exceptionally resilient crop, exhibiting greater adaptability to cold temperatures and drought conditions compared to barley or wheat. Moreover, it thrives in acidic and unfertilized soils, making it an ideal choice for cultivation. Additionally, rye is easy to process and digest. It's no wonder that the emergence of rye cultivation in the Middle East aligns with significant changes in climate patterns. The advent of colder and drier weather prompted the initial farmers to opt for rye, without completely forsaking the cultivation of other grains. Once established in cultivated fields, rye exhibits a strong inclination to persist within its chosen habitat. It possesses a natural propensity to thrive autonomously, independent of human intervention, thus transforming into a weed. Come autumn, grains descend to the ground, where they take root and commence germination. The sprouting rye plants display remarkable resilience, enduring the harsh frosty conditions of winter and persistently thriving amidst a multitude of other cereal crops during the subsequent season. Ancient farmers likely discovered one more valuable attribute of rye. The extensive roots of the plants possessed the ability to draw phosphates and other vital nutrients from deep soil layers and bring them up to the surface. It made it highly advantageous to cultivate after rye different crops that lacked this capability. Rye could be conveniently planted during the winter months, rejuvenating and enhancing the productivity of old infertile fields. In Europe, rye showcased all its remarkable attributes. It flourished in podzolic soils that had recently been stripped of coniferous forests, withstanding early frosts and providing sustenance in areas where alternative grains struggled. One such region was located in the western part of present-day Germany. Rye cultivation had persisted there for countless centuries, tracing back to the Bronze Age. During the period of the Roman Empire, the distribution of rye extended its reach. The Celts may have been the primary conveyors of this crop. As the Middle Ages unfolded, the grain had already gained popularity among the Germanic and Slavic peoples and various other European societies. Interestingly, the Slavs appeared to hold a particular preference for rye, favoring it over other grains. Rye became a distinctive hallmark of their early agricultural traditions. During the Middle Ages, rye grains were a cost-effective source of nourishment. They were utilized in the preparation of bread, porridge, and even a fermented beverage with low alcohol content. In certain regions like Bavaria and Estonia, rye beer presented itself as a rival to barley beer. Rye held medicinal value for the medieval population, as it was employed in the creation of poultices for abscesses and tumors. Additionally, rye bran porridge was effective in treating diarrhea, while a warm infusion provided relief for dry coughs. Rye straw was incorporated into animal feed, while also being utilized for crafting baskets, bast shoes, and roofing materials. During the Age of Discovery, the rye grain made its way to the fields of America and the Far East thanks to travelers and colonists from Europe. For instance, historical records from the latter half of the 19th century mention its cultivation in northern China. The individuals responsible for bringing rye to this country remain uncertain, but there are possibilities. It could have been Jesuit missionaries who studied Manchuria 150 years ago, or perhaps Russian settlers hailing from Siberia. Winter rye gained significance as a valuable cereal substitute for the inhabitants residing in the northern regions of China, who were accustomed to consuming millet. Nevertheless, it is undeniable that both the Chinese populace and the progenies of European colonizers in America did not develop a fervent fondness for rye bread. Rye and its crossbred offspring, triticale, which were developed by German breeders back in 1888, continue to be cultivated mainly in Europe. Surprisingly, despite the emergence of more productive and lucrative crops, there seems to be no intention of abandoning their cultivation. Hence, within Germany and various parts of Northern Europe, one can savor delightful rye beer. Likewise, in Russia and the Baltic countries, the gastronomic delight often lies in the consumption of black rye bread. In the Netherlands, the prized possession is special rye whiskey. Over the course of time, significant transformations have undoubtedly taken place since the era of the Neolithic Age. However, when it comes to Europeans' palates, their fondness and preference for rye have remained unaltered.
If you enjoy our short informative video, put your like and subscribe. Do not miss our upcoming videos. We may be a bit awkward, but we always manage to have a good time and find joy in the little things.